Good morning. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller. And today I'm going to be doing a video that I promised last week. I had some comments and some follow-up comments asking if I would show how I cross-list. It was specifically to Etsy, but I decided I'm going to go ahead and show a few examples of me cross-listing to the three main platforms that I do: Mercari, Poshmark, and Etsy. They're all a little bit different, so I just thought it'd be, at least for those who haven't done any cross-listing, that you at least can see how it works. Couple of things though is everything for me starts on eBay, so all of my listings start there, and then I use List Perfectly to cross-list to other platforms. I don't use the List Perfectly catalog. I know a lot of people who do, and they prefer to start it in the catalog and then branch out. But I have 10,000 listings, and I just don't have the time, patience, energy to, at this point, put everything in the catalog. So everything starts on eBay, and then I cross-list. This last few months, I've been trying to get as many listings as I possibly can cross-listed to at least one other platform. Nowhere near done. But I was gonna just go ahead and show you one screen, and I'll just pick some of my listings and cross-list, probably 3 to each platform, just so you can see the process. I do have the Pro plan because I bulk list a lot, cross-list a lot of listings pretty much almost every day. Some days I get busy doing other things and I don't cross-list, but I try to, because I think, like eBay, if you're active in those platforms, you tend to get more sales, just kind of making their algorithm happy. But I did want to show you this screen. There are these 3 different plans: the Simple, the Business, and the Pro. I have the Pro plan because it transfers the most information from eBay to the other platforms. If you don't, I would encourage you to at least do the business plan, because as you can see here with the Simple plan, you can't bulk cross list. That's the main thing, and there's only a few things that do cross list. And then you would still have to go either fill it in because you know the information, or keep looking at the listings to, get the correct information. The business plan, the only thing it doesn't transfer over is the condition, the shipping weight, and the shipping dimensions. So, if you don't mind looking at your eBay listings that you're doing and making sure you filled in those appropriate ones in the other platform, it's probably doable. But I want the condition, I want the weight, I want everything to transfer over, and all I have to do is click on the blocks that I need to, and I'm done. So I just wanted to show you guys that. And let me see, I made a few notes, but I'm ad-libbing this for sure. Now, as far as when I cross-list, I don't cross-list immediately. I know some people do. As soon as they get it on eBay, they go ahead and cross-list it to other platforms. I don't, because I don't want that chance that item's going to sell immediately on 2 or 3 platforms before you've been able to take it down. So frankly, it's probably weeks before I get to my stuff. When I'm ready to cross-list, I usually go to my oldest listings, which is relative because I end and sell similar. So basically, it's the ones that are about to roll over anyway, or somewhere in there, or they've already just rolled over. And then I'm going to go ahead and just look through that list to find things that haven't been cross-listed to at least one platform. And I only usually do about 10 to 12 at a time. For me, and it may be my internet, I don't know, but usually if I do more than 12 or 15 at once, I start having issues. Things aren't cross-listing properly, but it's probably my internet, even though I have the best internet for my area. It's not, the best. So I just try not to. And that way, if I have any issues, I've only got a few that I'm having to figure out. All right, the other thing, make sure you're always logged into the platform that you're about to cross list to, because you hate to, have all these 10 lined up, and if you're not logged in, it's not going to happen and you're going to have to start all over. Also, usually I try to do one right when I'm first starting, do one just to make sure there's no issues. Sometimes eBay actually isn't logged in either, and the information won't cross. So just make sure. I usually start one just to make sure, and then I'll start doing 10 or 12 at a time. If after watching this you decide you want to join List Perfectly, I do have a coupon code. It is the Rebel Reseller. If you use that code, you will get 30% off your first month. So I do appreciate if you do use the code. I think the link is the link below. Robert's standing here. Is the link below will take them straight to signing up. Okay, so yes, check on the link below if you decide. All right, so let me get to my screen. Now what I usually do is I go into my, right here, listings active. Now you can start anywhere you want, but what I normally do is go over here, and the time left, I'm going to my listings that are about to roll over. I just decided to pick that page, but you could start anywhere you want. And if you want, you can do your newest stuff. That's, is my way the only way? No. Is my way the best way? Probably not. It's just my way. We all have to do our businesses the way we want to do them, and nobody should be able to tell us otherwise. So I'm going to go ahead and do Etsy first. I have already made sure I'm logged into List Perfectly. If you get to your active listing page and this kind of seems faded, I have up here the extension pinned, so it's always up here. You just have to click up here and make sure that you're logged in, and then you should see it looks more bold colored here. First thing you need to do though is click on this top button right here, because this helps you get started. That's when you start selecting. Now, because Etsy is only vintage or homemade, handmade, I only have been doing my vintage toys, and I try to make it a point to always look for a date on the items that I'm listing. That way I know, I don't have to guess. So I had to guess on these, but I'm going to go ahead and sort to right here. If you look at my listings, this is my custom SKU. These first 4 digits is the bin number that I have this item in. F means I cross-listed it at some point to Facebook. I've already deleted Facebook. And then this item is also on Mercari. When an item sells on eBay or another platform, I always go to my ended listings to make sure it hasn't been cross-listed. So if this item had sold on eBay and I went to my solds, I would know that this had been cross-listed to Mercari, and I need to go to Mercari and end it. And then P is Poshmark. Like, this item hasn't been cross-listed yet anywhere. Almost all of my clothes are on Poshmark also. But I'm going to start here. This is a Fisher Price Adventure People figure from 1974. What I do is I go ahead and I click here on the custom label block, because I'm going to put E for Etsy. Hit submit. Then it's automatically highlighted that it's one of the items that I'm going to cross list. And then I was going to do my Mark's horses. We'll talk about them in a second. But let me go ahead and put an E there. And I have one more Mark's horse. I might as well get it listed too. Here. All right. Then when you've got everything highlighted that you're going to want to cross list, then I click up here on this button again. and it's going to pull up the list perfectly screen. I'm going to choose Etsy. These are all the platforms that they currently cross-list to, but I only use Mercari, Posh, and Etsy. I don't do Facebook anymore, but you know, this is Kitizen, Shopify is here, Instagram. I probably should check into that. Grailed, Tradesy. I think that's Depop, right? I think so. So I've got these 3 items selected. I'm going to click on copy. And then it's going to start doing its thing. And it takes a few seconds for it to load. Right now it's going into that listing. You can see up here it's saying revise your listing. And then it's going to start popping up windows, one for each one. And then I'm just going to wait for it to do its thing. But it's relatively quick at this point. Here's my pictures. You can add a video here. Here's my title that transferred over. Here is where everybody seems to get worried. Who made it? Another company or person. Unless it's something you've handmade yourself, right? What is it? It's a finished product, right? And then when was it made? My item was made in 1974, so I'm going to click on the 1970s. If you don't know, but you know it was before 2003, you could put that there. Just click before 2003 or 2000 to 2002, because technically that is vintage at this point. But if you know the decade, then it's just decades. So 1970s. Category. Now, usually I just click on that block, and because I list a whole lot of things on there, usually it picks up what I've been listing. But I know you can just start typing. This is an action figure, right? Right here, it's going to pull up action in action figures. So I just click on that. You always have to pick something there. It will not list if you haven't picked a category. I don't worry about these others. I just don't. I am going to make it automatic, so it's going to renew after 4 months. Just double checking, making sure everything like that. Now, if I have done a video on my eBay listing that I have currently on YouTube on my toy testing channel, that's how I've been doing it. I'm gonna get red flags because it somewhere in that says eBay, and so luckily, and I'm hoping that it's not only for the pro plan, but it will tell you if you've got something in your listing that you shouldn't, because it's, you know, you'd hate to get banned because you left the word eBay or whatever in your listing. I don't fill out tags. I probably should. This is the price that's transferred over. Always remember, if your store is on sale on eBay or wherever you're starting, it's going to pick that price. So if you don't want that price, just go ahead and, like, I know this was listed for $12.95. It does have my custom SKU here, my quantity of 1. And then the shipping, I think at some point I set this up. But I only have 2. It's either going to be priority or it's going to be first class. But they do not recognize the first class weight range from 13 to 16. Hold on. So if you've listed something at 15 ounces, it's going to have to go priority. And I might have that set up wrong. I don't know. This is just how I do it. So I know this is going to be first class because it has transferred over my weight right here to 4 ounces. My items that are first class under a pound, I don't put dimensions. I haven't on eBay. I don't think it's required. So, but when you get to Etsy, it is required. So it's probably going to get shipped in a 4x4x4 box. So I'm just going to put that. it's going to tell me right here, it's going to charge them $4.95 when they purchase the item. And then I'm going to click publish. Now, if I have missed something, it's going to say, nope, you need to go fix something. But I don't think I have. So it's going to tell me here, I'm being charged 20 cents for this item to be listed. It does last for 4 months. So basically you're paying 5 cents a month to list on there. And then I just click publish. And it's done. Pulls it up right there. And then I'm going to move on to the next one. So this is one of the horses. These horses, I've seen some that said 60s, some that said 70s. I'm just going to go on the conservative side then and say this was made in the 70s. It is a Mark's horse. I picked it up at an estate sale. So again, basically pick the last one, another company, pick the second to the last one, a finished product. It's just, you know, for me, it's all about the pattern. When was it made? I'm going to say the 70s. Here, again, it's going to be an action figure. So I'm just going to type that in because it's not pulling up automatically. Got to spell it right. Action figure. Scooch down, make sure everything looks fine there. $36.75. I'm going to change it to $39.95, which was my original price. There's my SKU. It's going to weigh 2 pounds already. It's telling me that, so I'm going to click priority. I've got, if it's going to be priority mail and it's going to fit in at least the biggest box, large, the 13 by 13 by 8, that's what I put in my dimensions. So they're going to be charged $11. Publish. And then scooch on. I don't even wait at that point. It's the other Mark's horse, another company, a finished product, 1970s. Still not pulling it up. Action figure. But you know, if you don't have or if you're using another program, I don't know how the other programs work, but if you are just going to have the business plan, you're just going to need to go look. If you go back here, just for instance, it's done. It's already, you know, it's not saying processing. You could go look at your original listing. I don't know where it is in the grand scheme of things. Sorry if I'm making you know. You could go right here, click on calculated. Well, what is that? Right click, open up a link, and here's how you originally have it listed. 2 pounds, that, you know, you're good. You'll know then, and you can just go in and fill in the information that's missing. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and change this to $39.95. Priority again. And publish. A lot of times if I get going fast, I forget to do that, the category. And that's when it'll say nope. And then what I do is I make sure before I move on to another platform, I go back, make sure that it's listed. You've got the screen that shows that there wasn't some kind of issue. I don't normally have issues with Etsy. Sometimes I have issues with Mercari not cross-listing, or not, what's the word? I can't even think the word. List, it doesn't finish the listing. I've gone too fast and it didn't register. So I just make sure they're all there, they're finished, and it's good. Then I can come back here. I'm gonna go back to the top. I'm gonna pick 3 to go on to Mercari and 3 to go on to Poshmark. Poshmark, I try to stick with stuff that's like $15 or higher just because it's a 20% fee. So, but it doesn't really matter. But let me go ahead and pick a few things to go on to Poshmark. All right, let's do this snowman right here. So click on this button up here to get everything ready. Then I click on the custom SKU block. I'm going to put P this time for Poshmark. You can see I've got all these other ones already listed. All right, let's pick here, Bunnies by the Bay. P. I've sold quite a few loveys on there, and even though they're paying for priority, you know, they still will buy it. And let me pick one more. Here, let's put a snapback hat. Kind of a variety. I'm going to take out the F because I ended everything on there. So I'm just going to put P there. I didn't bother going back in and removing all that info because there's nothing there. All right, so I've got 3 done. Click here. I'm going to unclick Etsy, otherwise it's going to go to both, because you can list on multiple platforms. I choose not to very often, you know, I don't do it very often if I'm going to do like Mercari and Poshmark at the same time, because right now I'm just trying to get at least my listings to one other platform. So I'm going to click on Posh and click copy. I'll give it a second to load. And here we go. Poshmark's the easiest one, I think, to cross-list to. All right, it's loaded my pictures, my title, my description, category. It does not pick a category. You always have to do this yourself. For toys, I do kids. Scroll down toys and click on stuffed animals. The second one is optional. You don't even have to fill that in. This is where This Perfectly has filled in all the information for me. I don't do original price. If I was listing brand new stuff that I knew the original price, but I don't. So I'm just going to do 0. This is my sale price, so I'm just going to bump it up $2 because I've probably got a 10% sell or something going. And I mean, that's literally it. Next. List item. Go to the next one. Another toy. All the information's there. Kids. Toys. Stuffed animal. All of this has been filled in for me. You know, it might pick color for me. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't do tags. I'm going to bump my price back up because it's on sale. And I'm going to click next and list. Now this hat, when you get into the categories for this, I'm going to pick men's, and I think it's accessories. I've put some of my hats over there. Hats, yes. Adjustable, it's a single item. Bump my price up just a tad. And next. I'm telling you, Posh is the easiest. Love it. Then I'm going to go back to the beginning of the 3 just to make sure everything crossed. And there we go. Now Mercari. Let's find a couple. Click on that. M. All right. Let's remove this F. All right. Click on the button up here. Click on Mercari. Wait a few minutes. think Mercari tends to have more information that needs filled in. All right, scroll up, check your pictures, make sure your titles and description are correct, categories are correct, not a squishmallow. So I'll click on no brand, not sure. There are quite a few brands that haven't been registered. It's almost like they have to be registered with Mercari. Dakin isn't on there. I think Walmart is, but there's several that's not. And it's not like you can just come over here and type in. Like Dakin, it's not going to pull up anything, so you have to use the no brand, not sure, even though we do know what the brand is. Not on this particular one, but all right. Condition does transfer over. Good, good. And then I always click on this shipping because it seems to me that Mercari has their preset, what they think it should be based on other listings, but it isn't always accurate. So I always click on this. 8 ounces, so that price is actually correct. I'm just, well, I think I'm having an issue. I'll just go ahead and select. If it was wrong, this is what you would do to fix it, right? $8, that's fine. Even though my eBay stuff's on sale, I usually, because Mercari's fees are less, I just go ahead and let it go through. All right. Move on to the next one. All right, Build-A-Bear. No, that isn't Build-A-Bear. Build character. Okay. It's not Build-A-Bear, even though it's trying to make that. So again, that is not going to be in their list. So it's going to be no brand, not sure. Good. Click on this. 8 ounces, so that's fine. $8. Let it go. And then up here, Walmart. This, I'm pretty sure I can get Walmart. Type it in. There it is. But if it hadn't shown up, like the Spark Create Imagine, I still put in Walmart. They're showing this that it should be 4 ounces. Their thoughts on it, I'm agreeing 4 ounces. I'm just going to close that out. $11. And here is the smart pricing. I don't do that. That just allows Mercari to reduce your price over a set amount of time. I'm not going to do that. Now the smart offers, I've not used it yet, but it seems like a good idea. You just turn it on and you set your minimum. So I've got my price at 11. So if anybody makes me an offer of $9 up, it'll go ahead and accept it and list. All right, and then I'm going to go back up here. This happens sometimes. I think sometimes I just kind of get fast with the list button and I don't wait for it to start, and it just kind of has issues. If that happens, try to click list again, but if that doesn't work, save it as a draft. It's going to pull up this screen and then you can just list. I'm actually kind of glad that happened, so that if that happens to you and you keep clicking list and it doesn't move, just click on the draft. So I can close that one out. This build character bear is on, and then this one is done. I hope you found this useful. Those of you who have signed up for it already but have just been tentative about using it, I had lots of people that were concerned about Etsy, how to answer those few blocks. So I hope that helped all of you for that too. Like I said in the video, I haven't really used any other platforms, but I love List Perfectly. Just the fact that I can cross list in bulk and almost all of my information transfers over seamlessly. The tech support for List Perfectly is excellent, and they do have a Facebook group. I think it's just List Perfectly that a lot of people do ask questions on, but also you can come to my group, the Rebel Reseller Hangout. There's lots of people on there that do use List Perfectly and should be able to at least answer questions if you get stuck on something. Beth also does List Perfectly, so she can help also. All right, let's all get to work, right? Bye.